So,
Yeah.
Phil, back and forth game, you guys trailed, then came back, went up big, and Windy City got within one, but you guys held on.
Yeah.
What's the main takeaway?
We won. It was ugly. Hard fought. I mean, both teams just, I don't know if there was, the defense on both sides was just what was hurting everybody on both teams. And, we did just enough to win the ball game. I mean, it was back and forth. I liked how the offense, took command early and then blew up in the big inning and gave us a cushion there. Our pitchers did well. It just, our defense has been there pretty much all year. Not that we haven't made errors, but, tonight wasn't a good example of how good we are defensively. So that's what really let them back in the game. The same thing that let us kind of take the lead, and then Ben delivered the big blow with the home run there. But, I'm proud of the guys for battling like we always do, and the effort was there. It's just made some bonehead plays and defensively some physical mistakes. And, but like they say, a win's a win. It's not always going to be pretty, and learn from it. And, one thing I expect out of my guys is there's no mental slumps. The defense and mental preparation has to be there every night. There's no exception for it not to be. And not that mistakes won't be made, but that has to be there, because that can win you ball games alone, especially close games. The team that's mentally locked in and doing the little things right. And kind of got a taste of when two teams do the little things wrong, what happens, and it gets a little ugly. But I'm proud of the guys. We won. I think this is our first 3-game winning streak, if you will, this year, and the guys are playing together. It's fun to watch guys. Siegel had a better game, picking some guys up. Ben had a good game. He didn't do very well last night offensively, so he came back and made an adjustment or two, and he didn't let it simmer and keep going and going and going. He stopped things right there, had a better game tonight. So it's fun when you're doing things like that and see things like that.
You touched on it a little bit, but you guys have won 4 of your last 5 after the slow start. What's been the biggest difference from early on, or just even last week?
I think chemistry a little bit, in the clubhouse, onto the field, back and forth that way. We had a lot of turnover early, most notably in the pitching department, for good reason. We had a lot of guys, unfortunately, out of the gate that weren't getting it done. But, and these guys are starting to believe in themselves a little bit more, like they should. But it's not easy for someone to do that when you're losing a lot and ultimately failing. It's hard to believe in yourself when that's the result you're consistently getting. A stretch like this is good for our psyche. It's good for a lot of things in that clubhouse. But the bottom line is we're playing better baseball. Tonight we just happened to play a hair better than the other team, or a hair less worse, however you want to say it. But we did enough to win. And, finally these guys are getting rewarded for the effort that's been there since day one. Now it's starting to be, better performance along with that effort. And that's going to translate well for us.
Ben, going back to Thursday night, you guys are down 2-0 in the 9th. Back-to-back home runs, 2 outs, come all the way back. What did that win do for the team?
That was huge. I don't think Phil's probably ever seen anything like that in all his years. I know I haven't. You always talk about not giving up, and it kind of turns into a cliche at some point, but a game like that's a perfect example. We didn't do much offensively all game, and then first 2 guys get out, and then, 2 swings of the bat, you're right back in it, and the rest was history there. So, that was one of the big turning points for the team, I think, and we've been playing good ball since then. Like Phil said, tonight was ugly, but, we found a way to pull it out, and that's what matters.
And have you seen a change in, the mentality of the team, or the attitude maybe last couple of games with the wins?
Definitely. Guys are more into it. You go in the dugout, it feels alive. Early in the season, it's tough to get that emotion you want and that positive energy when the team isn't playing well, or you get off to a 3-0 deficit in the first couple innings, and then the offense doesn't battle back. It's tough to have that positive energy, but you need to bring it, because you know, just like that game the other night, it's not over till it's over. So, you know, I think a lot of the younger guys are starting to see that, and the older guys are setting a good example for them. So it starts from the top and trickles down, and I mean, it's been fun the last couple of days. So.
The last one, Schoenfeld and Zawacki both pitched pretty well. They got out of jams, made things interesting, but they worked themselves out of it. What did you think of their performances?
I'll add one to you. I thought Wellender did good. He had zero support. You know, at one point, 2 runs scored without a ball getting it through the infield. You know, that's the defense not picking him up there. He had a huge double play ball right back to him that our middle guys didn't get the job done. There's 2 outs. There's 2 runs instead of 4. So those 3 guys, they all battled. They just battled, and ultimately they got it done. Schoenfeld out of the gate. I mean, at one point I look over there and there's like 9 or 10 hits and 1 run. I mean, it tells me he's throwing strikes. It tells me he's not getting a lot of swing and misses, but it still tells me his ball is doing what he wants. That's fine, you know, because the rest of the time he's getting ground balls and getting double plays and you know, getting out of jams. You know, ground balls, when balls are put in play, excuse me, a sinker baller like him, you know, they're going to find holes some days. And sometimes the line can look like that, 10 hits, 1 run, something like that, 2 runs. But, you know, he limited his damage. He wasn't walking guys, and that was the key. That was the big key. And then we made a few plays early behind him. But and then Brett did what this team needs Brett to do. He came in early, made a good pitch, didn't get the result he wanted, made another good pitch, didn't get the result, but he got out of that inning with the lead. And then here he comes in the 9th to close it out, and this team really needs a guy like him that has that swing and miss stuff and isn't affected by, you know, the roller coaster of emotions this game could be late. And so it was a great group effort. I don't think the pitchers looked as good as they really did, in my opinion, based on how we kind of played behind them defensively. But they did a great job.
Thanks, guys.